My name is Chris, and I find myself in this desolate place. A place I never thought I would be. Let me take you back to where it all began. I was a fresh graduate, a mathematician with a first-class degree, brimming with dreams and hopes. Now we been the run since that time. Me, Chris, with the K. That was the correct lecturer now. I was fierce and focused. But if you want to see me melt and weak, blushing like a 4-year-old Ajebota Pekin, just say that name. She was my weakness, my muse, my Zuma. Let me behave myself. She was my greatest support despite the opposition from her parents. They despised me. They were not having their daughters hang around a loser like me. Guys, that babe go cover shame for me like this, eh? My lovely. So, even before I graduated, I felt not just love and respect for her. No, I felt indebted to her. I wanted to shower her with the beauties of life. But life after the university was nothing like I had imagined. I had no job, no prospect, and my dreams were slipping through my fingers. Then, fate led me to an old friend named Smooth. He was living the life of luxury, a stark contrast to my own struggles. I couldn't help but wonder how he had achieved such success when he hadn't excelled academically. My throat is parched. I will tell you about Smooth some other time.
Join us next week for another episode of the Concern Me Radio Drama. The Concern Me Radio Drama was brought to you by Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Trafficking, MICAT, and funded by the Australia High Commission.
Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of the program, E Concern Me Radio Drama, and program where we get to discuss on human trafficking and child labor. And well, so let's see how the story of Chris with the K is going to wrap up. It's just the beginning of this story. And if you join us next week, I'm sure he will tell us what the situation is and how it went with Smooth. Today on the program, we're going to be looking at a very, very interesting topic, and you should be part of the discussion today. Human trafficking and child labor using technology is what we will be focusing on. And so I'm going to be calling our guest who will be joining us online, and so that we have the discussion. We would love to hear from you. Now, if you're listening to us, and Center for Africa Development. Glad to have you join us today, sir.
Glad to be part of the discussion.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we're going to start with we've already started the discussion on human trafficking for a while now.
Yes.
But then when you say combating human trafficking and child labor using technology, it means this is supposed to be a strategy, or what is it exactly?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a strategy. And then one thing we need to understand is that technology is facilitating human trafficking. Many years ago, it's difficult it takes a lot of resources for traffickers to use to recruit victims. But with technology, it's cost effective. It doesn't take them much use online platform to recruit victims and exploit them.
Really?
But the good news is that the same technology that can be used by traffickers to recruit victims can as well be used by advocate organizations and law enforcement agents to fight human trafficking, to disrupt the activities of traffickers And when we're talking of using technology to combat human trafficking, it involves a lot of things. The first thing it involves is creating awareness. Now, a majority of young people are online. And of course, you know that young people are the major targets of traffickers.
That's right.
So you can use online platforms to create awareness, let them understand what are the indicators of human trafficking.
Okay, so let me cut you there. So let's look at, before we look at that as a strategy, or some of these strategies that technology has brought our way, how have these traffickers been using that same platform, which is technology? Like, what are some of those things that traffickers do, so that somebody that is listening right now will know these are some of the signs that this is a trafficker?
Yes. So first, traffickers use technology to monitor potential victims. Nowadays, young people put up a lot of information on social media. They put about their family history, their particular situations, and traffickers leverage on such things. They take advantage of such information to understand what the victims want. Some victims need love. Some of them need job. It's so many things. So when traffickers understand this, they create fake opportunity, something that is similar to what the potential victim needs, and then present it. Most times they do a public advert of opportunities abroad, and then when is what you need, you see that this is what you need, you drop into it.
That's right.
Most times they also chat them up. For example, imagine somebody who is heartbroken and the family is not taking care of him or her, and he started coming on social media to express how sad he or she is. A trafficker can approach the person and say, okay, I have a better offer for you, I love you. Tell the person how special he or she is. By then gaining trust. And once that trust is established or is gained, whatever thing that happens is becoming very easy. During COVID-19, we had a lot of incidences, because during COVID-19, there are so many incidents of trafficking that took place online, where the trafficker doesn't need to spend much money, doesn't need to come closer. In fact, the victim does not even need to see the trafficker. But traffickers are using the online platform, move the victim from one point to another point. You see somebody providing opportunity to the victim, job opportunity. Before you know it, the victim had to leave his or her place to travel to nowhere. So I think it's very easy for traffickers to use social media.
Now,
it doesn't cost them anything.
Yes, and I'm glad that we are talking about this today. Now, sometimes, as you're saying it, just in my thought, I'm like, so how do I even know the difference between a legit job opportunity and a trafficker giving me a platform and saying, I have a job opportunity for you?
Okay, so from our experience, I will use a scenario. I will use a story. We had one of our volunteers who had been trained on indicators of human trafficking. So she shared a story of how somebody approached her, offered her a job, and then even told her that this is the profit, that she will make 100 times what she's making in Nigeria, and then also told her not to tell anybody, so that she doesn't want someone to, withhold the opportunity, that she should keep it secret until she arrived at the destination. And when somebody is giving you an opportunity and telling you not to share it with someone else, that is number one suspicion.
There's a question mark. That's right.
There's a question mark, because they don't want you to let someone else know. That is why some victims, they even hide some information from the family members. Nobody knows until they travel and they start crying. That is when they will call back home and say, this is what happened. So traffickers present this opportunity and even tell you, keep it secret, don't share with anybody until you succeed, until you travel. And then most times some opportunities are too, you can't even believe it when somebody is telling you that if you travel, you are going to make up to 1 million naira in a month. You know that you don't have a job, you don't even have education, you don't have anybody there. So some of the promises are too big to be true. So, and then it is not verified. So for me, if you are seeing opportunities on social media, you have to make sure you verify the opportunity.
Now,
don't jump into
exactly
such thing.
Yeah, sorry to cut in. I thought you were done. Now, so let's look a little bit after. So we've looked at some of those signs that maybe victims have seen and all of that. So let's look at the strategies in combating this. What do we tell somebody that to know that these are the red flags? You've talked about the issue of do not tell anybody. So coming from your end now, you mentioned one at the beginning of the program. So what are some of those other strategies that we can use using technology to combat human trafficking?
Yes. So let me start with the role of citizens in using technology to combat human trafficking. Because right now there are so many technology tools at our disposal. We can always access it. We have social media. And the good thing that reporting human trafficking doesn't mean that you must have one big tech tool like that. With social media, when you suspect that someone is being trafficked or you suspect that a particular advert is a trap into human trafficking, you can report via social media. And we have NAPTIP on social media, we have NACDAL on social media, we have some organization on social media. You can report via that platform. And then you can also do a post to counter that opportunity, that fake promise. And then other organizations can see it and then take action on it.
That's right.
And some organizations have an app, like for Development Center for Africa Development, there is a popular app called Tokam app, where citizens can report human trafficking without even exposing their identity.
Oh, interesting.
So such platform had been used to recruit so many victims from different countries. So when a citizen notices or suspect that something is leading to human trafficking, it is his or her role to report, either using social media or use a valuable app to make the report. That is number one. Number two, citizens can use social media, can use their technology to learn about human trafficking. There are so many online courses. You know, most times, if you don't know much about a particular thing, you can fall victim to such things.
That's right.
So the more people are aware about human trafficking, the more their vulnerability is reduced. So young people need to learn about trafficking. There's multiple online courses they can get via online. And that is for citizens. Then for organizations, now technology can be used to conduct research and data about the kind of trafficking that happens in different states. In Nigeria, every state is affected by human trafficking, but each state has a peculiar case. With technology, you can understand what happens in different states. You know, in the northern part of Nigeria, you see there's a particular form of trafficking, which is more of labor trafficking, compared to the southern part of Nigeria, where you have more of sexual trafficking, orphanage trafficking, and all the rest of them. And that can be, you can use technology to understand the trend. And that will also help organizations to know the kind of resources, to know the kind of approach to use. For law enforcement agents, with technology, they can use it to share intelligence. Right now, traffickers use intelligence to do their work. They, first of all, get basic information they need. And then, as advocates, you can also use the same technology to gather intelligence, information about traffickers, and then share with law enforcement agents, and they will act on it. The likes of organizations like a National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons have an ICT department where they gather intelligence from different organizations, which will help them to facilitate investigation and prosecution of victims. You know, the thing is that traffickers are creative in a negative way.
That's right.
While we are thinking of how to fight them, they're also thinking of different ways of recruiting victims. While we are thinking of creating more technology to fight trafficking, they're also thinking of using other approaches. So we have to be ahead of them. We have to keep improving our technology to make sure that it meets the demand and is able to use to disrupt human trafficking. For some years now, we have been thinking of, enhancing our Tokam app in such a way that we can use it to make trafficking to be more difficult for traffickers. And I'm also thinking that is where organizations and tech companies need to focus on, creating technology that will make human trafficking more difficult to human traffickers.
But what has been the journey using the technology like the app that you mentioned? What has been the journey? Can you share with us some stories?
Yes. Over the past 3 years, we have been able to respond to over 100 cases.
Oh, wow.
Yes, over 100 cases. We've had incidences where a report was made about someone that was trafficked to Niger. And we contacted NAPTIP. We gathered the information and reported to NAPTIP. And NAPTIP did an investigation and the person was rescued.
Mm.
So we have a lot of people, because it's easier to report with app. You don't need to travel to any place to report. Just at the comfort of your home, you use your app. Within 5 minutes, you report the cases. Now, we have taken a lot of cases of sextortion, child labor, orphanage trafficking, different reports. And for each of these reports, we do more investigation, engage in active to respond, and most times it takes time. The only challenge we have is that we see there's still no reportage. It seems that people are a bit quiet, or people think that if it does not affect them directly, they can't do anything. You know, the reason why trafficking is thriving is not just because of the perpetrators, but because of those who see such things and keep silent. So using technology is not just the role of the victim. Anyone, anywhere you are, if you suspect that something is wrong, you don't need to wait for the victim to report. You yourself that have seen it should use your tech tool, the app, or whatever platform you are, and make the report and save life.
I'm glad when you mentioned that sometimes people don't concern and are not showing concern, maybe because it hasn't touched them. Because the name of the program is You Concern Me. It means that at some point we all have to join our hands together to do something.
Yes.
So I'm going to...
you know what?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, human trafficking is closer to us than we imagine. Like, people think it's something that happens in Edo State or somewhere far. It's very close. If people look very close in their neighborhood, trafficking is taking place.
And it looks so subtle, but then it does a whole lot of danger.
Yes. And anyone can be a victim.
Anyone can be a victim. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to let our listener to give their own contribution on the program before we get back to you. All right, thank you so much. So we've been talking with Mr. Joseph Osigwe. He is the Executive Director of Devatop Center for Africa Development. And today we're looking at combating human trafficking and child labor using technology. Now, I'm going to be talking to two sets of people that are listening to us now. If you are listening, and we would love to hear your thoughts on today's topic and what you think we can use as through technology to combat human trafficking and child labor. And somebody is listening right now, you might have received an SMS, you might have received an email, and with what Mr. Joseph Osigwe has mentioned, perhaps you've noticed some warning signs. I would love to have a conversation with you, and trust me, your name, your identity is secured. Okay, so if you can send me a text message, you get a call from us immediately after the program. So send me a text message on 090-9705-4450. Please don't call that particular line. So if you want to, you've seen, even if you're not too sure, okay, it's better to speak with a professional to be able to just help you confirm if this is it or it isn't. So send me a text message and you get a phone call from us immediately after the program, since we're live on air. And you can actually join us on Facebook. Drop your comments on Facebook. I would love to read your messages on Facebook. So if you want to call us now live in the studio, please call 090-8766-8888. 090-8766-8888. It is the Concern Me radio drama and discussion program right here on Eagles 102.3 FM. So let's get your comments on today's topic, which is combating human trafficking and child labor using technology. If you have any issues at all and you want to report, please send me a text message on 090-9705-4450. That is 090-9705-4450. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Who are we speaking with, please?
Okay, this is Baritasa.
Okay, Baritasa, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Human trafficking and technology, you see, it's a two-way affair. traffic cars can use technology to traffic people. They can also use technology to track down traffic cars. The use of phone calls, fake advertisement on television, on the internet. You can also use television advertisement to warn people about offers of jobs outside this country. You see, trafficking actually revolves around going for the wrong jobs. Sexual activity, domestic work, on the wrong premise that victims are being offered very juicy job opportunities abroad. It's a matter of being at alert and being careful, making background checks and all that.
That's right.
And in this case, we can use technology. Understand?
Thank you so much. Careful. Thank you so much, Barrister Hassan. We're so glad.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you called. And Barrister said some very profound things right there, talking about tracking phone calls and all of that, especially when it has gotten to a point, in my opinion, that you have established that this person is trying to lure a victim. 090-8766-8888. That is 090-8766-8888. What do you think about the topic on combating human trafficking and child labor using technology? Now, perhaps there are young people in your communities that have are labored. You know that it is clear these are underage children working. For people working in public places, we need to stop this. We need to tackle this as a people because, like the name of the program, it concern you, it concern me. So if you dey hear us now and say pikin dey una area where say dey for reach age where e suppose work, person carry am come keep for house, e go wash e go sell for shop, e go clean, take care of other children, so you go see pikin dey take care of pikin. How about my people? More they look inside this matter with one eye, they look the other eye, look our own children, say if na my own pikin, I go allow and make person suffer like that. So if you dey hear this program and you dey hear the discussion where they talk, and say e get one hotel for una area when a small children them gather them, then they traffic these kind of children, and then they allow them do wetin na big people na adults suppose do. Now adults suppose they work for place where as per na person wey take his own decision, and you want make we just look into the matter small. We no go mention your name, we no go mention anything. All we want be say make the pikin them make them dey safe. So if you dey hear us, you go just send me message now like this. If we finish this program, we go come call you. May you come tell us the place. In fact, if you just stay for your house, just do house one eye like this. Say, see the place. We wanna go check, see what they happen there. Us now, as the world will be better place. Now we dey find. You go send me message. Say, I beg Del. After this program, you get something I want to discuss with you. If you like, not even talk the thing now. If we use our online, call you later. May we discuss the thing further. 090-9705 4450 090-9705 4450. But if you want chook mouth for the matter where we discuss today like this, as we dey talk how person go fit abi we go fit use technology, more they fight this issue of human trafficking and child labor, and you hear this program, you say, may I chook my own thing where dey my mind, may I put my mouth inside. The number where you go call now 090-8766-8888, and our time done the sharpen eye for me. So if you want call, now the time where you go suppose call be this before I call our guest back. Maybe they wrap up the program. So this program they happen every Saturday. Every Saturday now we do this program on Top Eagles 102.3 FM. So we go start with the drama. We go come enter the discussion. So if you dey hear me now, send me text message. If you get matter where you want discuss, now text message line now they see call on top. The text message line where you go want complain or you get any observation on top anything where they happen for an area. The text message line where you go send message now 090-9705 4450. But if you want to call me, it's Shugma for the matter at 090-8766-8888. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, so let me go back to our guest so that we can wrap up the program, but we will need to, just get to hear from you. If I can get one more phone call before I call Mr. Joseph, we will call wrap up the program. So the program now, it concerns me radio drama and radio program, and you go feed join us on top Facebook. We did on top Facebook now like this. You go feed go watch us on top Facebook in case you just tune in and we don't begin the program already. Just look for Eagles FM Abuja on top Facebook and you go feed watch waiting Don Shele for the program today. So Mr. Joseph Osigwe is going to let us know as waiting as citizens we go feed do waiting we go carry for our mind they go house with today. Mr. Joseph.
Hello.
All right, so thank you. I don't know if you listened. We had Barrister Hassan called and he gave his own 2 cents. But then what is the take home for every Nigerian? What should we keep thinking about on the issue of combating human trafficking using technology?
Yes, it is everyone's responsibility to fight human trafficking. The fight of human trafficking cannot be left in the hands of organizations or the law enforcement agents. Everyone has a role. And then once again, the reason why human trafficking is thriving is not only because of traffickers, but because of individuals who see this evil and close their eyes and keep silent. Silence fosters human trafficking, and if we must end human trafficking, we all have to come together, use the tools in our hand. Our phone is an effective tool, in combating human trafficking. You can always use it to report. It does not take you much time to use your phone to make a report. So it's high time that we start playing our individual role in combating human trafficking.
Thank you so much. And you mentioned on the issue of the app. Can you tell us a little bit more about the app and how we can use it?
Oh, okay. So Tokam app was initiated to encourage citizens to use their technology, to use their mobile phone to report, and to break that culture of silence and encourage reportage, we created the app called Tokam. Tokam is a pidgin English, which means to speak out.
Tokam,
So we want to make people, to speak out so that when they see something, they talk. So with the Tokam app, anyone from any part of the world can make a report of suspected incidents of human trafficking. And when it gets to us, we analyze it and engage the nearest law enforcement agent to respond. And all cases reported to Tokam app are responded to. We don't keep cases and then allow it to go. We make sure we respond.
This is a very wonderful initiative.
Yeah, and it can even access if you visit the Play Store and type Tokam app. You can get there. You can also visit the website tokam.app. And Tokam is TALKM.
Okay.
Tokam, yes. So it has been in existence, and currently in the next few months we'll be rolling out online courses.
Awesome. Where
people can learn about different forms of human trafficking to make them understand their role in combating human trafficking.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Osigwe, for taking our time to be with us on the program today.
Thank you, I appreciate
it. And I didn't know that you are like me. We are the pidgin English speakers, so I be they speak English. For say I know say your app na talk and we for don't switch go pidgin since now. Thank you very much, sir. If we see how we go talk, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And so this is where we wrap up the program. It concerns me radio drama and program. Next week, Saturday, we continue with the story of Chris, and let's find out what Chris is up to in that story. And next week, we will come with another educative program. But if you don't see something, it gets benefit if you go talk. Send me a message now on top 090-9705-4450. Until we come your way again next week with another edition of the program, You Consign Me. And it is brought to you by Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MICAT. And this program is funded by the Australian High Commission.